Managing diabetes is a daily challenge for millions of people worldwide. One of the most common ideas is that sugar is the main enemy for people with this condition. However, this belief oversimplifies the relationship between sugar, carbohydrates, and blood glucose control. To manage blood sugar effectively, it's essential to understand what sugar truly is, how it affects our bodies, and the best strategies to avoid spikes and imbalances in glucose levels. First, it's important to know that the term sugar is often used generically to describe carbohydrates. When carbohydrates are digested, they turn into glucose, the body's primary energy source. This glucose enters the bloodstream, raising blood sugar levels. Depending on the type of carbohydrate, this process can happen quickly or slowly. Simple carbohydrates, like refined sugar or those found in fruit juices, are digested rapidly, causing sudden spikes in blood sugar. In contrast, complex carbohydrates found in whole grains or fiber-rich foods have a slower, more controlled impact on glucose levels. A common misconception is that cutting out refined sugar is enough to control diabetes. Many people say things like, "I stopped adding sugar to my coffee, I don't eat sweets or desserts anymore, but my glucose levels are still high." This happens because it's not just refined sugar that affects glucose levels. Other foods high in carbohydrates, such as rice, potatoes, pasta, and some starchy vegetables, also break down into glucose in the body. So, it's not enough to eliminate visible sugar. It's necessary to identify all carbohydrate sources in your diet and manage their intake appropriately. One of the most effective strategies is to pair carbohydrates with foods that help lower their glycemic index, such as proteins, healthy fats, and fibers. For example, if you want to eat a fruit like a banana, you can pair it with a fiber source like chia or flax seeds, or even with a boiled egg. This slows down the absorption of glucose in the body, preventing sudden blood sugar spikes. Another effective combination is incorporating healthy fats like avocado, which also help slow down the body's carbohydrate processing. However, it's important to balance these combinations to avoid consuming excessive calories. The goal isn't to completely ban carbohydrates, but to learn how to consume them in moderation and intelligently. Bread, for example, can be part of a diabetes-friendly diet if eaten in controlled amounts and paired with protein or fiber-rich foods. A practical example is combining a slice of whole grain bread with low-fat cheese or some shredded chicken breast. This approach not only lowers the bread's glycemic index, but also creates a more balanced and nutritious meal. Another fundamental aspect is avoiding extreme dietary restrictions. Completely cutting out carbohydrates is not only challenging, but can also be harmful in some cases. For example, people with type 1 diabetes who use insulin need carbohydrates to prevent hypoglycemia. Moreover, carbohydrates are an essential energy source for the body. Instead of eliminating them entirely, it's better to choose higher quality carbohydrate sources such as whole grains, legumes, and vegetables. It's important to note that not all healthy foods are ideal for managing glucose levels. A clear example is grape juice, which, despite its anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties, isn't a good option for those aiming to control diabetes. This is because juices, by removing the fiber from the fruit, concentrate a large amount of natural sugars that are quickly absorbed into the bloodstream, causing glucose spikes. In addition to managing your diet, it's crucial to have realistic expectations about how long it takes to see significant improvements in blood sugar control. For instance, the hemoglobin A1C test, which measures the average glucose levels over the past 3 months, doesn't show immediate changes. This means that dietary and lifestyle modifications need to be maintained over time to have a real and lasting impact. It's a gradual process that requires consistency, patience, and commitment. Incorporating habits like tracking what you eat and your blood glucose levels before and after meals can also be incredibly helpful. Keeping a record allows you to identify patterns and make more precise adjustments to your treatment in collaboration with your healthcare team. While it may seem tedious at first, maintaining a food and glucose diary can make a significant difference in diabetes management. Physical activity is another cornerstone of diabetes management. Regular exercise improves insulin sensitivity, helps the body use glucose as an energy source, and contributes to maintaining a healthy weight. Even simple activities like walking for 30 minutes a day can have a meaningful impact on blood sugar levels. Lastly, it's important to approach diabetes with a balanced mindset, avoiding extremes and seeking practical solutions that can be sustained over the long term. With accurate information, intelligent dietary adjustments, and a gradual approach, it's possible to achieve effective blood glucose control, improving quality of life and reducing the risks associated with this condition.